Hello friends, myself Dr. Veena Sakardande here with new topic today from Medical Surgical Nursing. Last two sessions we have seen about hypertension and hypotension, and today we are going to see about hypertension crisis, or it is also called as a hypertensive crisis. So let us start with the topic. Hypertensive crisis. So what do you understand with the word hypertensive and crisis? Hypertensive, that means there is sudden increase of blood pressure, or it causing the interference with or non-functioning or dysfunctioning of the vital organs like heart, lung, kidney, liver, brain. So hypertensive, so suddenly there is increase in blood pressure, like maybe more than 250 by 150 or 240 by 130 mm of Hg. What do you understand with the word crisis? Crisis, that means it is a situation where there is a life-threatening condition which require the emergency management for the severe hypertension, which is causing complication to the vital organs. So this is about the definition of hypertensive crisis, that is sudden increase into blood pressure, maybe more than 250 by 150 mm of Hg, and patient need emergency management, and there is an interference or life-threatening situation of vital organ because there is a sudden increase in blood pressure. Hypertensive crisis or hypertension is always accelerated with the life-threatening situation where there is increase into blood pressure. Like we can say, for example, according to textbook, when the diastolic blood pressure is increased more than 130 mm of Hg, that means whenever there is a heart is resting, that is diastolic blood pressure. When it is increased more than 130 mm of Hg in a few hours or few days or few weeks, so it is also called as a hypertensive crisis, or basically it is because of increase into diastolic blood pressure. Next we will see causes of hypertensive crisis. So first cause is non-compliance to the medical therapy, diet, or both, or inadequate treatment. When we talk about the non-compliance to the medical therapy, that means patient is on antihypertensive drug, but patient is not responding normally to the control of blood pressure. Second, diet also. If patient is taking low salt diet, there are diet restriction, following everything or avoiding pickle, papad or salty products, still blood pressure is not under control. Or second, non-compliance to the medical therapy also and diet also can be leading to the hypertensive crisis. Or inadequate treatment. The patient is not taking drug on time. There is a change in the frequency or intake of drug or changing of the dose, leads to hypertensive crisis. Second one, there are some disorders which are induced hypertension, and these disorders are like, first is a acute renal failure and second is chronic renal failure. What happens in acute and chronic renal failure? There will be a metabolic problem with the renal filtration or GFR, which is leading to imbalance of the sodium, potassium and fluid and electrolyte. Second is related to drug induced. There are some drugs which are leading to the hypertensive crisis. And next one is a CNS problem, central venous nervous disorders. So suddenly there is a changes into neurological impulses or the stimulation, which leads to hypertensive crisis. Next cause is a ingestion of thiamine content food or beverages like beer, cheese. If patient is on the treatment of the hypertension or hypertensive crisis, and if it is taken along with the monoamine oxidase inhibitor, it may cause the adverse reaction and patient may have hypertensive crisis. Next we will see diagnostic assessment of hypertensive crisis. So once patient comes to the hospital or emergency room, first we have to have a detailed history of the patient. That is nursing assessment, which include detailed history of the patient, past history of illness, history of any chronic illness like the central nervous system problem, renal problem or any drug intake, drug reaction. So dietary history. So we have to take the detailed history of the patient. Then assessment, basically assessment, head to toe assessment. Then we go for the different assessment of cardiovascular system, central nervous system and other related systems. So we need to assess and take the history, proper history of the patient. Next is the assessment of central venous pressure or assessment of the cardiovascular system. We can say under cardiovascular system we have to assess the pain, chest pain, like whether patient is having chest pain, whether it is a anginal pain, how pain is radiating, whether origin is from the heart. So we need to assess the angina pectoris, chest pain. Even we have to assess for the any sign and symptom or any complication of myocardial infarction and aortic dissection. So related any heart problems, we need to assess the patient under cardiovascular system assessment. Next assessment about the congestive heart failure or congestive cardiac failure. Like when patient is suffering from the anginal pain or angina pectoris or myocardial infarction, we need to assess the patient for the congestive heart failure, like blood pressure, heart rate, ECG monitoring. So we need to assess for this. Next is when patient is undergoing surgery, vascular surgery with hypertension. So like aortic aneurysm, aortic aneurysectomy or any cardiac related surgery, aortic dissection, valvular dissection, we need to assess the patient for any complication if patient is treated with the hypertension. So this will be under the cardiac problems. Even the CBG or endectomy also we need to assess and check for the any related. Next, diagnostic assessment related to CNS, that is central nervous system. Here also we need to assess the GCS, that is Glasgow Coma Scale, and neurological assessment for the sensory and motor function of the patient. Like if you consider that patient is having some of the sign and symptom, so we need to assess for under the diagnostic assessment. Like if you say papilledema, if patient is having the pupillary or papilledema, it can be assumed or we can predict that patient is having increase into intracranial pressure. What is normal intracranial pressure? It is a 5 to 12 mm of Hg. So if there is a fluctuation, decrease or increase intracranial pressure, definitely when there is an increase in intracranial pressure, we can say patient is having papilledema. Second is agitation. Agitation commonly we can see in patient with encephalopathy. Lethargy also. Lethargy it is because of subarachnoid hemorrhage. If patient is having headache, we can consider that patient is having hypertensive crisis or there is increase into blood pressure. If patient is having coma, confusion, and patient is having the other related sign and symptom of the neurological deficit, so we can consider patient is suffering from or patient is having episode of cerebrovascular accident. So this is about the diagnostic assessment under central nervous system. Next, if patient is having hypertensive crisis because of some renal problem like acute renal failure, so we need to identify the underlying causes for the acute renal failure and how it is leading to the hypertensive crisis. That means under that we are going to see about the scleroderma, whether patient is having glomerulonephritis, whether patient is having malignant hypertension or related problem of the kidney. So we need to assess for this. Even the vasculitis also one of the cause for the acute renal failure. So we need to find out what is the chronic cause for hypertensive crisis. Next, diagnostic assessment for the catecholamine excess, where there will be a pheochromocytoma. So we will see this terminology meaning under the description part. Next, we will see management of hypertensive crisis. So first, goal of management. So first we need to prevent the complication causing because of hypertensive crisis, monitoring the cardiac and vital function of the patient, and prevention of complication and further treatment for this. This will be a goal for management. Next, we can see the medical management. Under that, pharmacological management is major role here, and then nursing management and dietary management. So what happens under medical management? First is the antihypertensive therapy and monitoring of the blood pressure, continuous monitoring of the vital signs plus blood pressure, maybe with the Holter monitoring, rhythm monitoring of the heart, cardiac output monitoring, vital signs, pulse, blood pressure. and antihypertensive therapy. In that mainly we can start with the furosemide. As per the advice, furosemide, sodium bicarbonate, we can start with the antihypertensive therapy, will help to decrease the blood. Some of the drugs like NTG, nitroglycerin, which can be given when patient is having unstable angina or myocardial infarction, nifedipine, labetalol. So these are the some of the example of the drugs are administered with the prescription to manage the emergency situation of the patient. Next is about the diet. Here, as per the situation of the patient, whether patient is conscious, and we need to restrict the salt, sodium of the patient, and soft diet can be provided to the patient, which will include that low sodium diet. Next, we will see nursing management for hypertensive crisis, which is a very important role here. Nurses has an important role to manage the patient with the hypertensive crisis. So first is the nursing assessment. Nursing assessment, that means assessing the patient. So before assessing, she has to take detailed history of the patient, like past history of the illness, past history of any surgery, any family history, dietary history, history of any renal problem, heart problem, CNS problem, any metabolic problem. So she has to take in-depth history of the patient. Then nursing assessment. Nursing assessment, that is head to toe examination, and then specific examination like cardiovascular system assessment, central nervous system assessment, that is assessment of the GCS, general assessment of the patient. Next is a emergency management. So emergency management, that is nursing role or role and responsibility of the nurse when patient comes with a hypertensive crisis. So after assessment, she has to monitor the vital signs, pulse, respiration and temperature and heart rate. Next, ECG monitoring, then giving the supine position to the patient or as per requirement or situation of the patient, semi-Fowler position or low Fowler position to the patient, assessing for any sign of cyanosis, and continuous monitoring of the ECG and the blood pressure and heart rate is very important. Again, she has to advise the patient or counsel the patient, talk with the patient, give psychological support so that patient will have a less agitation and anxiety and will help to reduce the blood pressure. Next, as per the prescription, she has to administer different medication like diuretics, antihypertensive drugs, and as per the heart related problem, drug has to be administered. After the calculation of dose, then start with the IV fluid, drop factor has to be calculated, and accordingly drug administration has to be given. Next is the maintaining the intake output chart is very important here as a major role of the nurse. Then assessing, continuous assessment of the patient, that is we can say hemodynamic assessment of the patient, that is assessing the patient's function of the vital organ, that is assessing the function of the heart by blood pressure, pulse rate, ECG, assessing the function of the lung by respiration, chest expansion, any sign of cyanosis. Then next, assessing the renal function, and then brain and the liver function. So assessment of these all vital organs is called as a hemodynamic monitoring, and she has to record everything. Next, assessment of the patient's nutrition, elimination, diet, psychological support, and then maintaining all records in emergency situation. So here nursing management, that is emergency management of nurse during the hypertensive crisis when patient comes to the emergency unit. So friends, this is about the in short hypertensive crisis. So we have seen in today's topic definition of hypertensive crisis, common causes of hypertensive crisis, diagnostic assessment, management, in that medical management and nursing management. So hope you understood the topic. Friends, if you like this topic, please make sure to like, share, subscribe and comment down below. Do not forget to click on the bell icon so you will get updates of related session of nursing education. Thank you.